All right, so let's create a navigation then that we can put at the top of our page that will link all of these 3 pages via a navigation rather than my having to type it into the URL. Okay, great. So the tag that we use for that is called an anchor tag A. So I'll write it out first, A, anchor tag. And one of its attributes is href, which stands for hyperlink reference. In other words, where will I go to when you click on this link? And let's start off with index.html. So we want to hyperlink to the index page. And then I have a closing anchor tag. So what goes in between the open anchor tag and the closing anchor tag is the visual part that we want our user to click on. In other words, I'm going to say home or home page or whatever. So we'll just use home for now. All right. So what does this look like? Well, let's refresh it. So I'm on my Brownies page. I need to be on my Brownies page in order to see that. So I'm going to pull this out. I think I'm on the cookie right now. So let's go on to Brownies. Okay. And I spelled it wrong. So of course that's going to make a difference. Let's do Brownies. Okay. So now I'm on the Brownies page and you can see that there is a link. And by default, this is what it looks like when it's not stylized all pretty. And we'll see how to do that later. So right now it shows as a underline or a hyperlink. And if I put my cursor over it, I get that little finger cursor change. And that indicates that if I click on this hypertext link, that I will then go to the thing that I have in the hyperlink reference, which is the index.html. So let's keep adding on to this menu. So we have a link to the home page. I'm going to put what we call a pipe, which is the key. If I do a shift, it's on top of the backward slash. So here's what a backward slash key looks like. If you do a shift and hit that same key, shift and that same key, then you get what we call kind of a pipe. It's just this vertical line. And that's just going to give me a nice visual between each element. So it's a way for me to create a separator between our links. So we'll see other ways to do that, but for now, that one seems to make sense. Okay, so I'm going to add another link. I'm going to do an anchor tag. So this time I'm going to use Emmett to help me with an A and a tab. And it says, what is the hyperlink reference? Well, let's make one to the Brownies. And I recognize that I'm on the Brownies page. So why would you be making a link to the same page? Well, let me explain that. So I'm going to type in the word Brownies here just to finish out this thought process. Refresh the page, and now I see a link to both the home and the Brownies. But I'm on the Brownies page. Well, I acknowledge that, but let's finish this out, and then I'll come back to why I'm doing that. Even though I'm on that page, should I still be giving a link to it? I'll show you. So let me do another pipe, and let's add another link to our last page, which is the cookie page, cookie.html, and we're going to type in cookies. All right, now let's look at this. Okay, so that all makes sense. Temporarily, I'll still have to come back to that explanation of why is the Brownies here, but let's go ahead and click on the cookies link, and it is bringing up the cookies page. Excellent. Let's click on the Brownies page. That's just reloading itself. Weird, I know, but let's keep thinking about that. And then this is going to go back to that home page. So I suggest that we put this navigation, I'm just going to copy and paste and put it on all 3 of these pages. Okay. If your indentation doesn't line up properly, sometimes when you copy and paste, your indenting goes weird. I want to remind you that you can right-click and choose Format Document to line everything up, indenting the way it's supposed to be. So I just didn't want to forget that that's a thing. And then I think I need one on the index page. So back here, I'll force that format. No, it still formatted it nicely for me. All right. Well, I was trying to make a mistake, but it fixed me. All right. So now let's look and explain why do I have the Brownies link on the Brownies page? Well, it's for consistency. So if I go across each of these pages, I have the same menu navigation on all 3 pages. This is how a user expects to use our website. Our user isn't expected to know that, for example, I'm on the Brownies page and therefore I should only see a link to cookies and to home. And if I'm on the cookies page, I will only see a link between Brownies and home. In other words, let me give you that visual. So I'm on the cookies page. Let's do this. Let me take off the cookie link. So if I did this, and now I look on this page, well, you and I both know that it's the cookie page, but your user isn't going to know that. And so by eliminating that link, it's confusing. It's not consistent. So we should always keep the same navigation on all of our pages, even though that navigation in this case is already reflecting the page that we're on. So always have a consistent navigation across all pages, right? And then notice, and I guess I didn't really show this, but as I was linking and these became visited links, the colors changed. So initially they were blue, and then as we clicked on each page, they became a visited link and turned purple. So that's just a visual navigation clue to our users. So that kind of concludes this video where we talked about we've created several pages, and now we're able to link between those pages with our anchor tags. So we have a consistent navigation. You can obviously put anchor tags anywhere you want, but the point is it's how we create these hypertext links that link to other pages.